at the lakefront. Pretty nice places to relax a little bit, unwind. Got here using the e-bike hybrid gas generator. I actually use the gas generator. It's not. I didn't use I didn't only use the battery. Just want to go through an overview of it while I have some time. I'm using the 3 kilowatt rated Cyclone motor at the bottom here. You can see the Cyclone motor. It's rated at 3 kilowatt, I think 5,000 watt peak, but I'm using unbranded Chinese domestic cell scooter batteries. I can't see that, but they're underneath here. I have 4 in parallel, two sets, so that's 8 batteries, and then those 2 sets goes into series to make 72 volts. So I have about 1,000 watt hours. At the moment, I only have 6 because one of the battery packs I found was defective, or one of the cells in that pack itself is broken. So now it's currently at 6, but that's okay. I still can ride. I just need to take off another pack from the other side to even it out, and so I can still ride now. The generator itself is it's a 800 watt. See in there. I don't want to take off the fairing completely, but there's an 800 watt continuous 1,000 watt peak generator. It's like a 40 cc 4-stroke engine, air cooled. I basically took that. It's like a portable generator that I took apart, and I stuffed it inside of this cruiser train. And I have 2 different chargers on here. I have disregard this. I need to cut off this tape here. So I have a 420 watt charger at the bottom, which provides 5 amps. I use that basically when I'm cruising, when I need to use the generator. And when I'm charging at home, I usually just use the 3 amp charger, which is here. It's a little bit safer, obviously, to use a 3 amp charger. Here's the gas tank, obviously. I cut a little flap for the gas tank. And I tried to so I had to put a fairing system. One of the dumbest things I did was I actually rode this without a fairing system, with the batteries all exposed with wires and stuff like that. Got into a little trouble with the cops. They were trying to figure out what the hell was going on. I went there during 4th of July, so they were suspicious of me. But anyway, I put a ghetto fairing system on top. So this is basically just plastic bins that I spray painted over with black. Not quite the look I'm looking for, but it works pretty well. The seat I got to match, but it's actually pretty stiff. So, and plus this bike has no suspension whatsoever. Sometimes I have to kind of sit up on the seat to just avoid getting my nuts crushed, and also the vibration sometimes of the motor. And the vibration of the motor is not too bad. It's not that bad. I've had motorcycles and I've seen worse. I have this decal here, number 99. If anyone you guys follow anime or anything like that, or watch the recent said movie, wouldn't understand that reference. It doesn't have any disc brakes. It has rim brakes, which are okay, because my cruising speed is usually just around 20 to 22 miles into a headwind, and maybe around 25 miles in going with a tailwind, and I think that's good enough for an e-bike. And again, these batteries here are Chinese domestic cells, which means they're not performance batteries where I can kind of crank out the amps and whatnot, see if I can hit 50 or whatever. The fastest I went on this is 40 miles per hour, and that's really kind of pushing it in terms of the batteries. For the generator, how I ride, so the thing with like an e-bike is that it's a good commuter bike, but you're gonna run out of power eventually. Even the most expensive e-bike with those $10,000 5 kilowatt rated with 3 kilowatt hour battery, they're gonna run out of juice eventually. They all do, and that's great. That's fine, because e-bikes are great. I have 2 modes of riding this. Usually, if I'm just doing a commute or just grabbing a bite or something like that, or picking up some groceries or picking up some doing some errands, that's within like 5 or 10 miles. So I'm just gonna use the e-bike. I'm not gonna bother even turning on the generator. But if I'm going further, if I'm just cruising around, I have no destination whatsoever. I just want to ride for like a couple hours. I'm gonna use the generator. So that's kind of like the use cases for this bike. Um, and so that is about it. I think I might need to get like a seat suspension because there's no suspension on this bike, and it's really sometimes it's pretty bad. The roads can be pretty bad. The only thing it's missing at the moment I'm waiting for is the tail light to complete the look, and I might change the top here a little bit just to make it a little bit nicer. But other than that, I think it's complete. I'm not sure if it's able to go past state yet, but it's near close. But anyway, that's just kind of a detailed overview. And the way I started was I have these Velcro strips here. I just push back the Velcro, put the settings correctly, and then pull the cord here and start the bike, and then off I go. Hope that makes sense for everyone. So this is a gas. So how would I classify this? Oh, there's a certain term for it, but which I don't like. It's called a battery extender hybrid, which is kind of the dumbest, uncool name for it anyway. So I call it a gas generator e-bike hybrid. I think that's probably a better name. Some people call it a serial hybrid, maybe a parallel hybrid. It's not really serial because the power is not additive. It's more of a parallel hybrid, I would say. And also, the bike cannot run only on the generator. It needs the battery as a buffer. It needs some type of battery as a buffer, so you can't just run. For those who are looking to do something similar, you just can't run the generator by itself.